Alright, hi guys. So there are two words that I have applied to substitute teaching that has considerably made supply teaching easier for me, right? Those two words are systems and leverage. Now, I want you guys to think about, and we'll call this person teacher a teacher who walks into a classroom and the kids just behave instantly. They even perk up their chairs, they sort out the uniform, they are silent, and the teacher says nothing. Versus a teacher, I call that teacher B, who is screaming, they're shouting, they're throwing threats, and the children are just continuing to behave in the destructive manner in which they wish to do so. The difference between those teachers is one is having a minimal input and a maximal output, bracket results, and one is having maximal input with a minimal output, minimal results. Now, this could be for whatever reason. It could be due to respect and whatever. And I'm gonna go over videos which will highlight what level of respect a student will assign a teacher. In that scenario, teacher A may walk into teacher B's class and then they can leave. Now, teacher B has a decision to make when that teacher leaves. They can reflect and they can either do something wise or stupid, for lack of a better term. But let's just say they have a lack of awareness in regards to how to handle a situation appropriately. All right. Something stupid, in my opinion, would be to ask the class and get emotional and say, how comes you guys behave when Mr. or Mrs. this comes in, but when it's just me in the class, you guys don't behave? They're seeing you're getting emotional. And let me just put it out there. There is nothing more entertaining for a student than a teacher that has an emotional meltdown.
What did you say?
So a wise way to handle the situation would be to either implement systems within the lesson or their next lessons. Now, those systems may already be pre-made, or you might tweak them a bit depending on the lesson that you're in. Now, what's a good acronym for a system? And I learned this when through business. A system stands for something that saves
yourself,
stress,
time,
energy, and money in terms of system, in terms of business. Or you could say minerals, right? Just another word for energy, minerals, vitamins, but money, because unfortunately, some members of staff, they are really spending money on stuff to reduce stress. And I'm not gonna go into what that is. I'm sure you all know, all right? Cool, so they can implement these systems. Any successful organization has systems now. Like a pre-existing system could be a strike one, a strike two, then bang, you're out of the class, or bang, detention, right? But that would be a class, that would be a pre-existing system. For whatever reason, some substitute teachers might not be aware that they can use that. Well, you could tweak the system. That teacher B that's walked into a class, it could be head of year, it could be senior leadership. You can now make that strike one, strike two, bang, senior leadership, right? That would be a little tweak. However, if you're gonna use systems, you need to learn the students' names. Now, it might be time consuming, you might not be bothered, but the payoff is great because you don't want to be coming up to the board about to write a name and you just don't know what name to write. Another thing is students can become desensitized or acclimatized to certain sanctions that are within place. So I'm gonna reveal more videos in regards to how to kind of minimize the amount of students you send out of class so they don't become desensitized. And also, if you're going to be leveraging another member of staff, bear in mind, the more senior they are, the more they have on their plate. It can be a burden if you don't know how to retain students' respect. Your leverage is inputs and outputs. Someone who has a lot of leverage has small input and they have massive output. For sake of argument, Elon Musk, he doesn't need to work, but he has a lot of output per day, right? So that's an example of someone who has a lot of leverage. So you can leverage the leverage. You can leverage the teacher that has the leverage, or you can leverage systems in order to just minimize your stress and have good results within it. They said they finished the work and I asked them to check the work. They always do this. They always bring